Theresa is 39 and her husband is 8 years younger. Although 31-year-old Sebastian can be officially termed her toy boy, it's not the age gap that makes this couple unlikely. 7 years ago, Theresa and Sebastian had a holiday fling that simply wouldn't be flung.
Would you like coffee then? Relaxing, having my coffee. Just give the coffee back, yeah.
It wasn't my idea to have a holiday, it was a friend of mine. We had a really busy summer, working really, really hard, and we both agreed we needed to have a break. So she said, OK, I'll go to this travel agent and I will go and book something. Basically, I said to her, as long as it's got a sandy beach, I don't really care.
And Theresa and her friend Sarah came to a village on the coast of Corfu and stayed in a small hotel with a big attraction.
First time that I saw Sebastian was when I was walking through the restaurant and he was behind the bar. And I just remember him saying, "Hello, girls," as he does. I just thought, oh, he's quite cute.
Just thought, I fancy her, so I had to find a way to talk to her, and I tried everything and she wouldn't respond very much.
Because I quite liked him, I was too shy to show it. I can be extrovert, but equally if I like somebody, I don't really know how to deal with it.
So I had to play some sort of innuendo to get into talking to her.
And it took 2 weeks of flirting and innuendo for Sebastian to get Theresa on her own.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, after like 2 litres of wine, we were on our own. And we kind of had a chat and everything. And we had our first little kiss. After that, we spent time with each other the next day, and then the following day I flew home. So it was a very brief encounter.
All of a sudden, this person goes, so you're left with all the sensation, all the feelings, all the heartbeat, full up, and then nothing.
Theresa went back to Blighty, but found it hard to get back into the old routine.
The job was taking so much of my time and energy, I didn't really have much opportunity to go and meet people. And if I did, it was really out late, drinking, getting drunk, getting up the next morning feeling absolutely rotten, smoking far too much, doing all the things you shouldn't do. And I was kind of living a bit of a Bridget Jonesy kind of life, to be quite honest.
But Bridget Jones was about to do a Shirley Valentine. Theresa gave up everything for her holiday fling. She went back to Corfu, tested the water, realised it was love, and the move became permanent.
Most of my friends and family, when they realised that it was a bit more than a holiday romance and it was serious, I don't think they really believed I'd ever have the guts to do what I did. I don't think even I believed it until I got on the plane, to be quite honest.
But once on the plane, there were new challenges waiting ahead.
I don't think many mothers would want their daughters to leave, but she never really said that to me. She just was more worried that I would be happy and I would be able to adjust to the life here. And she's heard about all kinds of scare stories about Greek mother-in-laws and things not working out.
In 1998, Theresa was 33 and she had a holiday romance in Corfu with Sebastian, a 25-year-old waiter. 7 years on, she's still there.
He really is my toy boy. When I met him, he was 25 and I was 33. So there's 8 years or so difference between us.
The thought of my friends and family about being with Theresa was not a very good-looking one. They all had an issue about the age gap, but who cares about time, really? I was there with a person who I really liked, and I couldn't give a damn whether anybody said anything about Theresa.
The couple married in a traditional Corfu ceremony in 2003. But when you marry a Greek, you're not just marrying the man, you're marrying the mother-in-law.
My mum had a big issue about it. She would prefer, I think, to have a Greek girl, which is respectable.
She must understand that she's in Greece. She's not anymore in England. She must speak Greek, so she can't speak with all of us. But if she doesn't know, it's very difficult for her. And it's not very nice all the time to ask what they say. And tomorrow, if she has children, she must bring the children in our school, in our church, in our parties, in everything. When they are in England, they do that in England. When they are here, they will do exactly what we do it here.
I think one of the things that we had to deal with, or I had to deal with when I came here, was how to balance my relationship with his mum. Actually, I think that she's been brilliant because, you know, it is hard suddenly to have the whole attention of your son and then to have to share him. It is quite tricky, but I think we've got there. I think we are actually a united family. We have our moments, like any mother-in-law and daughter-in-law.
Theresa does her things her own way, my mum does her things their own way. No one is better than the other. They're both trying for the good of you know, everybody. The trouble is I'm in the middle, and that sometimes is not very pleasant, but we're getting over that one.
I don't think you can get away with not speaking Greek, because it's not possible then to integrate with family and your community, because when you're at a family dinner or with friends, if you don't understand or speak, you're like a lemon, really. But I can speak, badly, but enough for people to understand me.
Theresa and Sebastian now run the family taverna together, and Theresa is fully settled into the Greek lifestyle, although there are some home comforts she still misses.
I really miss Indian food. I think your choices here are quite limited culturally. It's Greek or Greek or Greek, basically.
But for Theresa, there's only one Greek for her.
There's really only one reason why I gave up everything to come here. It wasn't the sun, it wasn't the sea, it wasn't any of that, it was Sebastian. And I really love him, so that's it.
But Sebastian isn't the only Greek man to get a British lady on his love boat. Leah came to Corfu and fell for a Greek man 17 years her senior. He had a boat, but it wasn't all plain sailing.
It was 1979 when I came out on holiday with my girlfriend, best buddy. She'd booked a holiday to Corfu. I had nothing to do with it. And the first week was a boat trip. And the captain of the boat came up. He seemed incredibly tall and big and overpowering as a personality. And he sort of plunked himself down and started chatting me up. I was a bit, ooh.
I met her right in my boat. She came with a group. And then I think I asked her for a date.
He wasn't sort of guy I normally fancied, but I thought, well, why not go for it? We got back to the hotel and I told my friend, she said, you're mad. She said, why do you want to go out? You know, a bit risky. No, she said, I wouldn't do that. And I was speaking to other girls, they said, oh, you mustn't go out with him, but you know, he's married. I was horrified. Oh, God, married? No, I'm not going anywhere on my own with a married man. I'm in Greece, so I don't want to do that. So I stood him up.
And that was that, until Leah won another boat trip, and guess whose boat it was? No, seriously, go on, have a guess.
I was horrified, oh dear. We got on the boat.
Leah, do you need help?
Thank you. He was really off with me. He was obviously really fed up. We exchanged a few words. I sort of sidled over to him and spoke to him. He said, why didn't you turn up then? I said, well, I heard you were married. He said, if I was married, I would be with my wife. That's not true, he said. It's just people spreading nasty rumours.
Right, that's it, until Leah found herself on another boat trip. Yeah, and guess what? Yep, same boat, same Nick, third time lucky.
This time he was a bit chattier. He hesitatingly asked me out again and I agreed. I think it took quite a lot of courage for him to ask me out again.
So after a rough start, Leah and her older man's first date was on solid ground, if a little unusual.
It was quite overwhelming in a way because his parents were there, real village people. Couldn't speak to them at all, and his mother was very hospitable and she was pointing at the food, very welcoming. I was quite charmed by it. I thought it was lovely and felt very safe as well because I was with his parents. So I breathed a sigh of relief after all that. I realised he wouldn't have taken me to dinner with his mum and dad if he was married. The longer I spent with Nick, the more I fancied him, really.
I fancy you too.
You fancy from the beginning?
Yes, from the very beginning. Otherwise, it was 45 girls in the boat. Do you remember? So speaking to you, that means I fancy you. There were 45 single women in the boat, yeah, from 18 to 20.
This is why I signed up with Club 1830, all the single girls, isn't it? Yeah.
No, I was working for the Club 1830. I don't know regrets.
Nick may have picked Leah out of 45 women, but in typical British fashion, she was more reserved.
It was obviously more than a holiday romance. I wanted to be with him, but I wasn't going to rush into anything. I wasn't going to just give my life up and move out or anything. It's a big move.
Over 1 million tourists visit Corfu every year and many find love for a fortnight. Leah and Nick's romance, however, has lasted 26 years and counting.
I think definitely it started like a holiday romance. But of course, when the days passing by, you discover that it was something more attractive, something more magnetizing.
I remember after I met Nick, even after the first holiday, I came home and I thought, I really feel now what it is to be loved properly. I remember thinking that. I felt appreciated and loved. And that's why we're still together, I think.
Leah lived between Greece and the UK for 3 years until the couple were married in 1982. But marrying your holiday romance isn't the only unlikely thing about this couple.
Well, we do have a 17 years age gap, Nick and I, but when you fall in love with someone, you fall in love for them.
The age gap didn't make any difference to me because I'm a person that I could be a friend with a 2-year-old boy or girl and a 102-year-old person.
It's not really an issue. He tends sometimes to treat me like his little princess, when I feel like I'm a little girl still, but that's quite nice in a way.
But despite the age gap, the couple are still young at heart.
Wherever we go, we're holding hands. We go for shopping, if we go for movies, if we go for dancing, if we go here and there, and we're still doing it. And I remember somebody who says in the village, says, God bless you, I am with you, we're holding hands after 20 so many years, like kids, like teenagers.
And looking back, Leah still sees the unlikeliness in her relationship.
If you'd have said to me that I would end up and live in Corfu, I would just say, no way. I can remember sitting on a beach when we first came out here, saying to her, isn't this lovely, this island, it's beautiful. It's a great place to come for a honeymoon. And little did I know that I'd just be having a permanent honeymoon here. It's amazing.